Most of you will agree that when it comes with drawing, you can have a submitting drawing, you can have a working drawing, and you can have a presentation drawing. Now with this exercise, we're going to do a section through this 3D model, and then we're going to add a side tile on the roof itself. So we're going to start off with a vertical section, quick section, indicate start point, end point, E for end, and I'm going to look in this direction, and I'm going to place my section. Now, because it's still a section, so if I'm going to select it, Caddie confirm section 1. Now in the previous versions, we introduced you the option that if you right click while the section is selected, you can go down to section and you can ask Caddie convert section to 2D line work. Once it's done, as you can see, now it converts the section to line work. Now the command I'm going to show you now is an existing command, and that's under apps, SI Arc 2D, you go down to roof and it's tile inside view. Now this is the new dialog. Now if you look at the dialog that you had up to Caddie 28, is that you will see in up to Caddie 28 you have only a purlin size and then a purlin end size, where in Caddie 29 you've got the tile spacing. Now the tile spacing and the angle is getting from the symbol itself, from that block, and then you've got a Batten width, Batten depth, as well as an end Batten width and the end Batten depth. So let's make use of the new dialog. So I'm going to say browse and I'm going to select the symbol. Now we're going to start off with the lateral long side. I'm going to say OK. And as you can see, the tile spacing has changed because, as I mentioned, it's from the symbol itself. I'm going to keep it 38 by, let's make that 38. I'm going to say OK, and Caddie will ask us indicate roof line. So I'm going to indicate the roof line, and as you can see there, place my symbol. Now the first enhancement is that you will notice that if you click on the button, that is now a polyline. Previously, it was single individual lines. So let's make a copy of this line. See for copy. Let's place one over here, there and there. Now you can go back to the command, or you can just right click. If you go down to your recent commands, you will see that Caddie will always list the last 10 recent commands. So we're back in the same command. Now let's make use of a different symbol, and I'm going to start off with a double Roman. As soon as I'm going to say OK, I will look and see my tile spacing has changed to 301, and this time we're going to make it 38 by 35. That's my Batten width and depth. I'm going to say OK, and Caddie asks us indicate the roof line, indicate the line, and if I zoom in, let's just change the background so you can see the red, just make it white. So if I'm going to make use of diagonal dimension, there's my 38 size, and there's my 35. Once again, I can just right click, go down to recent commands, reactivate the command, and now I'm going to change to a slate. I'm going to say OK, and this time I'm going to keep my spacing the same, but have a look. My tilt angle is 4.5 at the moment and 200. If I'm going to say OK and I indicate the line, I'm going to press escape and I press spacebar to repeat previous command. Now I'm going to change the 200, I'm going to make that 300, and I'm going to change my angle to say 6 degrees. If I'm going to say OK and I'm going to indicate the line, immediately you can see the distance between your buttons as well as the gap. If I'm going to zoom in closer, you will see that now that 6 degrees is actually, if we go to annotate, 3-point angle, indicate first point, second point, and I'm going to snap to line. There's the 6 degrees that Caddie asks us in a dialog itself. So I'm zoom out a bit, there's the difference to a modification of your properties of the symbol itself.